Friends, we can all see that many white bloggers have millions of followers. Please support me too, because my followers are still few. Black bloggers also deserve to be famous. My friends, let's unite and lift each other up. Please press subscribe button and like. In the heart of Houston, Texas, Officer Maria Santos had spent 8 years patrolling the Harris County Detention Center. The night shift was usually uneventful, with most inmates asleep by 11 p.m. But tonight, an unsettling silence hung in the air, thick and oppressive. As she walked through the dimly lit corridors, her instincts tingled with unease. "Don't talk," a voice whispered from cell 47. Maria froze, her hand hovering over her holster. It was Marcus Williams, a lifer known for his quiet demeanor. He had never caused trouble, but tonight, his eyes were wide with fear. "Just listen," he urged, his voice barely above a whisper. "Why?" Maria asked, her training battling with her instincts. "What's going on?" "There's going to be an ambush," Marcus revealed, glancing nervously down the corridor. "3 of them are waiting for you. They have weapons." Maria's heart raced. She had heard of ambushes before, but this felt different. "Who?" she pressed, trying to maintain her composure. "Rodriguez, Thompson, and the new guy, Jackson. They've been planning this for weeks. Jackson has a master key to the cells." The implications hit her hard. If they succeeded, it wouldn't just be an attack on her. It would be the start of a riot. "How do you know this?" she demanded. "They tried to recruit me," Marcus replied, disgust evident in his voice. "They thought I'd have nothing to lose. I've been listening to their plans ever since." Maria's radio crackled. Dispatch checking in for her hourly report. She had mere seconds to decide. If she called for backup, it might trigger the ambush. But if she didn't act, she could be walking into a trap. "Where are they?" she asked urgently. "Rodriguez is in the supply closet near the checkpoint. Thompson's behind the water fountain. Jackson's in the blind spot by the emergency exit." Maria's mind raced. She knew the layout well. The blind spot was a known security flaw, and if Jackson had a master key, chaos would ensue. "Why tonight?" she pressed. "Tomorrow, there's a prisoner transport coming in. They won't create chaos and escape during confusion," Marcus explained. Maria felt sick. This was bigger than she had imagined. "And they're targeting me because of my brother," she realized, recalling her brother Carlos's recent drug busts. "They know everything about me." "Exactly. They'll come after you again, even if you survive this," Marcus warned. Maria's hands trembled as she gripped her radio. "If things go bad, I need you to tell the investigators everything," she instructed Marcus. "I will," he promised, determination in his eyes. "But you're smarter than they think. You can get out of this." Maria took a deep breath, her mind racing. "Is there another way out?" she asked. "The maintenance tunnel behind the vending machines near cell 22. But you'll have to crawl through it," Marcus said. Time was running out. Maria glanced at her watch. 18 minutes until her next check-in. She had to move now. "If I don't make it," she started. "You will," Marcus interrupted. "You're tougher than they realize." With a silent prayer, Maria began to move toward the vending machines. Each step felt like a countdown. As she approached cell 22, she heard a scraping sound. Someone was awake. "Evening, Officer Santos," a voice called from cell 19. It was Tommy Valdez, a known associate of Rodriguez. "Working late tonight?" Maria's heart raced. She had to act normal. "Just making my rounds, Valdez," she replied, trying to sound calm. "Things are about to get interesting," Tommy said, his tone menacing. Maria pressed on, inching closer to the vending machines. She could see the access panel now, but Tommy's voice stopped her in her tracks. "What would happen if you needed help and nobody could hear you scream?" The threat hung in the air, and Maria's instinct screamed to her to retreat. But she couldn't. She had to reach the tunnel. Just as she reached the vending machines, she heard the unmistakable sound of a cell door unlocking. Tommy had a key. Panic surged through her. She sprinted toward the vending machines, but Tommy was right behind her. "She's by the machines!" he shouted. Maria's hands shook as she fumbled with the access panel. She had to get it open before they caught her. The first screw came loose, but the second was rusted. She could hear footsteps approaching, and her heart raced. Officer Santos. "We just want to talk." Rodriguez's voice echoed down the hall. The third screw finally gave way, and Maria swung the panel open. She crawled into the tunnel, but Tommy's hand grabbed her ankle. "Going somewhere?" he taunted. With a swift kick, Maria broke free and scrambled into the tunnel. She could hear them arguing behind her, but she had to keep moving. The tunnel was dark and narrow, but it was her only chance. As she crawled, she realized she had to go back. Marcus had risked everything to warn her, and she couldn't let him die. She turned around, her heart pounding as she retraced her steps. Emerging from the tunnel, she could hear Jackson and Tommy's voices getting closer to Marcus's cell. She had mere minutes to save him. Maria reached for her radio, but hesitated. Calling for backup would take too long. Then she remembered something Marcus had told her months ago during one of their brief conversations. He had been a soldier before his life went wrong. Special forces trained in combat. Trained to survive. Maybe he wasn't as helpless as she thought. Maybe she could give him a warning. He could defend himself. Maria crept back toward the cell block, staying in the shadows, her heart pounding with every step. She could see Jackson and Tommy now, moving down the hallway with purpose. Jackson had something in his hand that glinted in the fluorescent light. Not a key this time, something sharp. She was running out of time. In 30 seconds, they would reach Marcus's cell. In 30 seconds, a good man would die unless she did something. Maria took a deep breath, stepped out of the shadows, and prepared to fight for both their lives. "Stop right there," she shouted, her voice echoing through the corridor. Jackson and Tommy turned, surprise etched on their faces. "Officer Santos," Jackson sneered, "you're making a big mistake." "I'm not letting you hurt him," Maria declared, her weapon drawn but held low, ready for whatever came next. "Let's finish this," Tommy said, advancing toward her, his eyes glinting with malice. Maria's mind raced. She had to think fast. The fire alarm. If she could trigger it, it would lock down the facility and buy her time. "But would it be enough?" "Back off," she warned, her finger hovering over the trigger. "You don't want to do this." "Or what?" Tommy taunted, stepping closer. "You'll shoot us." In that moment, Maria made her decision. She lunged for the fire alarm pull station, yanking it down hard. The deafening wail of sirens filled the air, and the lights flickered ominously. "Now you've done it," Jackson shouted, panic creeping into his voice as the emergency protocols kicked in. The cell door slammed shut with a resounding clang, trapping Jackson and Tommy in the hallway with her. Maria's heart raced as she realized she had just turned the tide. But as the alarms blared, she knew this was only the beginning. The real fight was about to start, and she had to be ready. "Let's see how tough you really are," she said, steeling herself for the confrontation ahead. And just as she prepared for the chaos that would ensue, the door to Marcus's cell swung open, and he stepped out, ready to fight alongside her. "Let's do this," he said, determination in his eyes. The stage was set for a showdown, and Maria knew that together, they could face whatever darkness awaited them. Do you want to know the fate of the heroes? Please post part 2. Subscribe to the channel and continue watching. Your opinion and support are important to me. Leave it in the comments. Thank you.